Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello again, everyone, and good Monday afternoon. Welcome into this another edition of the Auburn Blitz. I am Andy Graham alongside Caleb Brooks, and we'll be with you for the next hour talking about everything going on in the world of Auburn athletics. Auburn takes care of Iowa State in the SEC Big 12 Challenge over the weekend, 80-76. Caleb and I actually were together on Friday talking about this SEC Big 12 matchup. We thought the SEC maybe had a little bit of an advantage. We'd get away with a 6-4 victory in the 10 games played. Turns out it was a 5-5 split. Mississippi State unable to get it done on the road at Oklahoma. That was the one that was kind of maybe the toss-up of the bunch. Kentucky goes in, though, and beats Texas Tech. And Baylor turns around and returns the favor, goes into Florida and wins that game. And Baylor, very, very impressive, number one team in the country. As they continue to roll on. Auburn actually, arrests the fall. They lose 2 in a row, drop from number 4 to number 16. They win 2 in a row, and they drop to number 17. So I don't know how that works, but Auburn drops the spot to number 17 in the country. Just glad to be ranked at this point.
Well, rankings don't matter.
They don't really matter. The Auburn's number 20 in the net rankings. Those are the ones that
That's
happen
what matters
to determine the seeding in the NCAA tournament. So Auburn's sitting good there at number 20 in the country, and a lot of games to play. Still, I think 12 SEC games to play left in the season. Auburn will travel to Ole Miss on the 28th, which is that would be tomorrow. And Auburn has struggled with Kermit Davis. Bruce Pearl in particular, I think, struggled with Kermit Davis when he was at Tennessee,
Middle Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. And now he's struggled with him. Lost twice last year to the Rebels. Rebels get their first win of the SEC season this past weekend against Georgia. So maybe playing a little bit better after they had really struggled coming out of the gate. We'll talk about that. We'll break that down a little bit. Run down some of the other games. There, Auburn gets a big commitment from a defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia. He is actually a junior college guy at Independence Community College out there in Kansas. He was ranked the number 1 junior college strong side defensive end in the country. Monster of a man, about 6'5", 280-something pounds. So he is a pretty good-looking prospect, the guy you want to get off the bus. Had a good year last year. He's got 3 years to play for Auburn, but we'll see. That'll certainly add to a very good recruiting class for the Tigers, and got some other guys coming in this weekend. Some official visits as we start to wrap up National Signing Day Part 2 on February the 5th. We'll talk about that a little bit. Bounce around and talk about any of the things that you'd like to talk about today. By all means, just dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page, Sports with a Z, and comment away. We'll get to as many of those as we can today. Obviously, we'll open the show today talking about the tragedy that kind of befell Kobe Bryant over the weekend and 8 others in a helicopter crash out there in California. Just a terrible, terrible event. Kobe Bryant and his young daughter, his oldest daughter, perishing in that helicopter crash. Amongst, 7 other people, including the pilot, but I think 3 middle school children on this flight. Just an incredibly sad occurrence for all those families, and certainly our hearts and prayers go out to all of them. But obviously Kobe Bryant being one of the superstars in NBA history, one of the most talked about and one of the greatest superstars in NBA history, as he kind of was, I've had this conversation we talked about, Caleb, with people about, LeBron James ascending to, is he the greatest player in NBA history? And, the conversations I've had with people, I said, I'm not even sure, or in my book, he's not even number 2. It would be Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant would probably be the number 2. Just the way that he played basketball and the achievements that he had, championships that he won. But good to see you today. Certainly not a pleasant note to start out on, though. But where were you, or what were you doing yesterday when you started to get the news?
I was actually watching the ending of the 3rd Lord of the Rings movie.
Really?
Yeah,
and you never watch movies. So.
No, well, I actually do watch Lord of the Rings. I watch that whenever it comes on.
Okay.
But was watching it, and I got a text message from a buddy that said TMZ is reporting that Kobe Bryant has died in a helicopter crash, and so, you kind of see that, and you're like, nah, that can't be right. There's got to be some other dude named Kobe Bryant. They're getting mixed up. And,
yeah.
Then more and more stuff came out. The only thing I didn't like was that they've said that TMZ reported it before the family ever was able to find out. That's not really fair to the family and not good for them. And then you just have people trying to beat everybody to the punch and get this out. At one time they said all 4 of his daughters were on the helicopter with him. Only one of them was, and that part of it you don't like. But as we found out more and more from it, to have 3 different families that were on there with him. A baseball coach from California that was, very well known out there. He dies as well. It's you hate to see it, and it's like me and Brett were talking about this morning. If you get down to it, they were safer on that helicopter than we are going and getting in our cars every day. When you look at how many, actual wrecks there are with helicopters, planes, and then car wrecks every day. So it's just a freak deal, and it's one where I think that 25 years from now, whenever you ask me, where were you when Kobe Bryant died, I'll remember it, and it's going to be one of those moments for a long, long time. I remember where I was when Michael Jackson died. I was at the beach, and I think it's one of those that's kind of on that level of national, worldwide superstardom with somebody dying kind of suddenly. So
yeah, this reverberated across the entire world because he was such a well-known athlete, but. Yeah, you mentioned John Altobelli was a pretty well thought. Been at this junior college or community college there in California for 27 years and won multiple state titles. Very well known, very well thought of. He and his wife Carrie and their daughter Alyssa also died in this tragic helicopter crash. Also dying, Christina Mauser, a girls basketball coach at a nearby private elementary school, and also Sarah Chester and her daughter Peyton, a middle school student, died in the crash as well. Just again, three small young ladies that with so much, the entire lives ahead of them. I think the John Altobelli's daughter was a teammate of Kobe Bryant's daughter, and that's where they were going to this basketball game. You never know when you leave the house if you'll ever return. It's certainly a stark reminder to all of us out there to seize the day. But looking at Kobe Bryant, the impact he had on the NBA, you can see that now. We're about to have the All-Star game. I'm sure there'll be a tribute to him there, but the outpouring of people and the way it's affected. I was like you. I was watching the golf tournament. I was watching the Farmers Insurance Open, and the whole point came. And they handled it. Jim Nantz and them handled it well, but then it became, well, what's Tiger's reaction going to be? Because they were friends. They actually followed him off the course, and to win and did he know or did he not know while he was playing? Was it affecting his play? And I was like, man, come on, guys. That's I don't know. You just take it too far. I understand they're doing their job, and I'm sure that's what people were wondering as well. But
they are. But did they not learn? Did the media not learn anything with the whole Joe Burrow and Ensminger deal? By just going and blurting something to him. I like the way, I don't know if you saw, but that Cassius Winston found out after the Michigan State-Minnesota game yesterday Tom Izzo pulled him to the side after he had just gotten knowing that he was about to get interviewed, and he said, you know, you could tell he just said, hey, I want to let you know that Kobe Bryant died. And you could see his reaction. He said, Kobe? He said, Kobe Bryant? And, I mean, it was just a shock to everybody. But I like that, you know, he was able to find out that way rather than, you know, Fox asking him a question and finding out that way on air. So, you know, I hate that this has happened. I wasn't a Kobe fan when he was a player. I wasn't a Lakers fan. I was a Lakers guy back when Shaq was there, and then when Shaq went and left, I followed him to Miami, and then I stayed a Miami fan through LeBron being there and all that. I don't really care that much, you know, that deep into it, but I was never really a huge Kobe guy. But I think he's one of those where people felt this way with Michael. I think everybody felt this way with Kobe, and I think you're going to see everybody feel this way with LeBron whenever he hangs them up, where when they finish, you start respecting what they did a little bit more. You appreciate what they did a little bit more. You understand the impact they had a little bit more. You know, the game of basketball was different the past couple of years without Kobe Bryant playing, and now it's going to be a lot different without him being at games, being able to be a part of stuff. You know, he was going to get inducted to the Hall of Fame later this year and won't be around for that. And so it's just, you hate to see it, and it's one of those situations where you don't ever think it's going to happen to somebody that's that famous and that's that well known, and that it's just, you know, it can happen just like that. And, you know, I even saw, like, Nick Saban's daughter went out and said something today about how he gets on the plane all the time to go recruit, and, you know, Malzahn does it. All these college coaches do. They get on these planes and helicopters and all that to go recruit, and that's an everyday thing for them. And it's a little bit more dangerous than you think about it because you don't see these wrecks all the time, but it is a dangerous thing that those guys go and do every day.
Kobe Bryant, 41 years old, died in a plane crash. Helicopter. We're up against a break. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Start the new year off with something new during the Start Something New sales event at Bice Motors. Lease a 2019 Dodge Challenger SXT for $319 a month with 0 down. 2020 Ram Bighorn Crew Cab for $349 a month. 2020 Jeep Gladiator for $329 a month. And to honor our first responders, get an additional $500 rebate.
Come see us in Alex City.
Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
From the smallest drippy faucet to drain cleaning to water heater replacement to gas lines to total systems replacement, A&M Plumbing handles it all. Visit amplumbing.net today for the experienced, licensed, and insured pros at A&M Plumbing.
A&M Plumbing, A&M Plumbing, service at its best when you need it most.
Finding a job might be tough, but starting your new career has never been easier. Wellborn Cabinet in Ashland has a wide array of career opportunities with benefits. General labor production, skilled cabinet builders, product assembly line, shipping, over-the-road truck drivers, clerical, marketing, security, daycare, office clerks, and so much more. Apply in person, 38669 Highway 77 South in Ashland, or online at wellborn.com. Building cabinets, building careers, and building our community.
Hillby Towers is an affordable senior citizen community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East, where spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living, where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more about Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552, for your family at Hillby Towers. That's 256-329-0552.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Alex City Marines, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, and the Yerkes invite you by to see what they have available today. The 2020 Manitous and Landaus are in, and boy, are they gorgeous. Also, some great deals on demos. Take advantage of that while they last. Alex City Marine also is doing shrink wrapping, storage. Get in line now. In fact, call this number, 256-215-FISH. Alex City Marine, Alex City.
The Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales in Opelika has the largest selection of prestige cars, trucks, and SUVs in Central and East Alabama, all with financing available, little to no money down, and extended warranties. Get pre-qualified in under 2 minutes, online or from your mobile device at GillsPrestigeOnline.com. It's the Prestige Selection at Gill's Auto Sales, 1430 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Caleb here with you for about 45 more minutes in today's show. We were talking about, of course, Kobe Bryant. It's his passing. Yeah, he and his daughter tragically being killed out there in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California on Sunday. He was 41 years old. She was 13, I believe. So they among 7 others that were also killed in that helicopter crash. You were talking about, we talk about how safe air travel is, and it is, comparatively speaking, to automobiles. But he joins a long list of famous people and athletes. Yeah. Payne Stewart, Davey Allison, Rocky Marciano died in a plane crash. These things do tend to happen, and there's a pretty established precedent. A lot of people, a lot of singers. Obviously Buddy Holly and the day the music died. Of course, the way we talk about Otis Redding was killed. Patsy Cline was killed in a plane crash. Leonard Skinner. You just keep going down the list.
Do you think it's one of those situations where, we get in a car every day and drive, so obviously that plays into the numbers and all that, whereas they're in a plane and a helicopter so much that the chances of them having something happen compared to me and you who would maybe fly, once every 5 years?
Yeah.
Then it's probably a lot different, the chances of something happening. So
have you ever been in a helicopter?
I've never been in a helicopter. I've been in a plane and I've been in a blimp before. Really? I've actually been in the Goodyear blimp, the old Goodyear blimp. Yeah. Okay. So I've been in one of those, but I hadn't never been in a helicopter. There were some reports that the gas had ran out in it today. I don't think that is what happened. I highly doubt
it was dense fog. An investigation was going on. They'll figure out what, but they were talking about it being a very steep dive. Yeah. That, and what we're talking about, impact, I think they said it was, it was going over 150, 160 miles an hour when it hit the ground. So there were clearly going to be no survivors, and at least it was certainly quick. But yeah, it's just it's just kind of crazy how many celebrities and people die in these air traffic accidents.
And I think this is one of those things where you still don't really believe that it happened. I was kind of sitting there yesterday just waiting for them to be like, false alarm, and you just don't really want to, accept that it happened. And like I said, I wasn't a huge Kobe fan, but I had started to grow more of a Kobe fan after his basketball playing days, just because you had seen what he was, the detailed with Kobe Bryant that ESPN dropped, and him breaking down people, and then you could tell him taking certain young guys like Jason Tatum and all them and working with them in the off season and helping them kind of mold their game a little bit better. And he had changed. He wasn't the same guy that he was 12 years ago when they were winning back-to-back and made it 3 straight years for the second time. And he was a different type of person. He was, I think, a little bit more self-centered back then, but he's a lot younger and he was in his prime. Now he's, he was 41 years old, taking his daughter to places and trying to, be a different person and make a difference in a lot of other people's lives. And so you just kind of hate to see that he had really just gotten started with doing all that and now won't really get the opportunity to continue that.
And a wife and 3 daughters left behind.
And a newborn. I mean, one of them's less than 7 months old.
No.
So.
Well, there is no easy transition from that, but we'll just continue to talk about basketball a little bit. Iowa State comes to Auburn over the weekend. Don't know how much you got to see of this game.
I watched it.
Auburn was, built about an 18-point lead. Was pretty much in control for most of the game. They kind of turned back the clock a little bit the last year. Made 9 threes in the first half.
Yeah.
Ended up with only 10 for the game, so kind of that well went dry a little bit in the second half. But you could just tell, Auburn is just a completely different team at home than they are on the road. And
Well, they're a completely different team when they're hitting shots.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's
Well,
you look at,
well, that could be said for most teams.
Yeah, but especially for Auburn, when you look at like the South Carolina game, they don't score the first 10 minutes. All of a sudden, then they end up with however many points over the next 30, and then they start out this game hot as they can be, and then the second half kind of cooled off a little bit, and then all of a sudden you see Iowa State started hitting shots, and they kind of started creeping back in, and Auburn went, they were stuck on 76 for a while.
Yes, they were. And had about a 14, 15-point lead, and next thing you know, you look at, just did some really dumb things.
Yeah.
Down the stretch. Daniel Purifoy came down and shot a 30-footer really quick in the shot clock late in the game, and kind of whittled that lead down to about 4 and had a 3 in the air to cut it to 1 at one point. But nonetheless, it turned out to be a good, solid win for Auburn. Iowa State, a good team. I'm going to tell you, Tyrese Halliburton needs to get in the gym, but that kid, good grief, he can shoot.
He's only a 2 or 3 star coming out of
He is
high school.
impressive.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's long, he's lengthy, plays pretty decent defense as well on the other end, but on the offensive side, he's similar to Kyra Lewis in the sense of it's hard to stay in front of him. It's hard to keep him in front of you, and then he can pull up and hit it from anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
And that ball looks good coming out of his hands. Yes, Caleb did say he has been in a blimp.
Yeah.
He has actually been in the Goodyear blimp. So that's for qualification. That is true. The bench scoring for Auburn, you wondered if Devin Cambridge was that a one and done type thing? Well, maybe so. He didn't score in this game. He only played 14 minutes, but he did have 3 rebounds. He was kind of active. He had 2 fouls, a couple of turnovers as well. But when Isaac Okoro and Samir Dowdy have good games, Auburn wins basketball games.
Yeah.
And that's going to continue. Okoro had kind of struggled here as of late, and Dowdy as well. But when those 2 guys are leading Auburn, that's when Auburn's at their best.
And when Purifoy can add 11 like he did. I think he's a big difference maker as well. But, when you've got, basically 5 guys, when you add in McCormick and McLemore, 11 and 9 apiece, basically 5 guys in double figures, you're going to win a lot of basketball games when you have that, especially when 2 of them are right there at the 20 mark as well. So I think that the big thing for Auburn is Okoro is going to get his. I think that Dowdy has shown that, he's going to be inconsistent some, but he's going to have good games like he did Saturday. The biggest keys to me are Purifoy and McLemore. When they're able to score for Auburn and when they're able to produce on offense, then Auburn does a good job and is able to score and win games.
Yeah, McLemore hitting some threes in this game. That was a big difference. Up against another break here, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
At Mortgage Pro, we won't be able to finance a new car or new boat. We can't open you a checking account. Mortgage Pro specializes in mortgage loans. If you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, the only way to go is Mortgage Pro. We can close in 15 days or less. We can offer the best rates in the mortgage industry. And we can waive appraisal fees on any new loan from September 1st until December 31st. Call Mortgage Pro today.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, your compact equipment provider.
I'm Lisa McClendon from Country Financial, and I have spent years in our community helping people protect their homes, cars, and lives. I am proud to be a member of the 2018 National Championship Team and a National Advisory Council member for Country Financial. Complete financial security does not end with just insurance. I am also here to help you plan for your financial future.
Together, we can help you set up a step-by-step plan to reach financial security.
Let's talk soon.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
So, you may not know it, but you've seen our work everywhere. For a combined 50 years, SignSource has been Central Alabama's premier option for all your sign needs. Custom signs for your business, club, or organization. Wraps and decals for your vehicle or boat. Full-color banners for your big sale, or a photo collage on canvas for grandma. All with fast, friendly, prompt service. Check out our website at signsourcenow.com. 888-533-6758. Go straight to the source. SignSource.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Caleb here with you for about 30 more minutes in today's show. Game day coming to Auburn Arena, to the Kentucky game. That one February 1st. Kind of a big deal, never been before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's never been Alabama or Auburn, so it'll be the first time it's come to either one of those schools. And I don't really know how they pick game day, because there's been some years where they go to some games and you're like, I mean, I think that what they do is they take it and they go, well, we go here for football, so let's go to Kansas and Kentucky and, you know, Virginia and these places that never get it for football. But this is a good game. When I looked at it before the season, I thought there'd be a chance if they do it like football, where they pick by, you know, every single week, that it'd have a chance to host it, and obviously they will. It's going to be a great environment. The thing is that's going to be interesting to watch, I think, when I heard that game day was coming, is how does Auburn handle it? Are they too amped up? Are they too, you know, because Kentucky's been here. I mean, they just got done going to Texas Tech, the defending champs, and getting a win. They've had game day. So, you know, I think the interesting thing is going to be, how does Auburn handle the environment? How do they handle the energy? And how do, you know, do they use it to go out and play well, or is it one of those situations where they come out and don't play well, and the energy and you know, all of that is just too much for them? So that's what's going to be very interesting to watch to me on Saturday. But I'm sure that the environment at Auburn is going to be incredible.
I would imagine, yeah, it'll be jacked for that game, and they will you know, show themselves well for game day. The last several games for Auburn and Kentucky in Auburn Arena have been really good games. Have been really close and competitive. Hopefully that will be the case again.
Auburn lost a year ago, right?
They did.
By 2 or something like that, yeah. But they beat them the year before.
They did.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and have not fared well in Rupp. Hey, I mean, it's a great thing.
Nobody fares well in Rupp.
Well, that's probably true, except Evansville. That it'll be a lot of people on hand for that one, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The SEC Big 12 Challenge, we mentioned 5-5. Auburn taking care of business for the SEC. That's a good thing. We thought Missouri didn't have much of a chance against West Virginia, and they did not. No. LSU blows a big lead at Texas, but is able to come back. I mean, LSU, when it comes to close games, they win. They win.
Yeah, I think their last 6 are by less than 5 or 5 or less or something like that. So, they're finding ways to win. I don't think they're that good, though. I mean, I think they're a good team, but I don't think that they're undefeated in the SEC good right now.
Yeah, that's probably. Mississippi State and Oklahoma this game, I don't think Mississippi State scored for 5 minutes to start this game.
Yeah, I mean, but Oklahoma didn't either.
No,
it was
they didn't.
4-0.
Yeah.
Something like that. 6 minutes into the game. It was a weird one. They played at the Thunder Arena, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's
from
right.
what I saw. And so it wasn't a true home game for Oklahoma, but obviously Mississippi State still having to travel out there. You get to play in a cool arena. Just wasn't able to come out on top, and they were playing good. They'd started out bad in SEC play. They were playing pretty good, but Oklahoma, on the flip side, was kind of similar to them, where they had kind of started picking it up and playing their better ball too. So I think Mississippi State's going to be dangerous for some people going forward just because they're so long. I mean, they're a big team, and I know Auburn already beat them on the road, but I think Mississippi State's going to be able to cause some problems for some teams just because they are long, and when they do score, they're hard to stop because they got so much length and so much offensive rebounding ability. So, hated to see that they weren't able to come out on top, though, because that would have made the difference for the Big 12 SEC.
And Oklahoma State, who was really struggling, just takes care of Texas A&M.
They'd lost 6 straight, and A&M they've been up and down, but with them being at home, they were an underdog at home, which kind of surprised me. And then Oklahoma State just comes in and just takes care of business. So I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know quite what that. Tennessee had a great opportunity to go into Fog Allen and just unable to get it done down the stretch. Got a lead, but unable to maintain that as Kansas. And which does what good teams do. They come back and make it a close game and ended up taking the lead as they defeat Tennessee. Arkansas takes care of TCU. Arkansas continues to look good. Alabama, again, much like Auburn, had a good lead and then found a way to kind of let them chip away. Kansas State makes a run, but Alabama learning how to win these games. Held on.
And I think that for Alabama this past week was one of those situations where you get up you had so much emotion in that Kentucky game, the Auburn game, and then put a lot of emphasis on turning around and beating Missouri at home, whereas this week they didn't really play good against Vandy or Kansas State. And I think a little bit of that had to do with just not having the same energy level, but finding a way to win was important for them. And they go from 2-4 to now 12-7, and are playing pretty good, but got a tough stretch coming up, going to LSU, Arkansas, and then eventually having to go to Auburn here in a couple weeks. So.
Yeah. Kentucky, like you mentioned, goes into Texas Tech, able to get that win in overtime.
A half-court shot ended up being huge for Kentucky.
Yeah, I'll say. And then Baylor goes into Florida and defeats them by 11, 72-61.
And it wasn't even that close. I mean, it wasn't an 11-point game. They were beating them pretty handily for most of the game. And they're the best team right now, them and Gonzaga. I mean, they're the two teams that they've been consistently right there at the top all year, beating good teams. And I think they're the only two that have really been able to do that consistently. So,
Ole Miss, as I mentioned, finding their bearings a little bit. They go into Georgia. I don't know what to make of Georgia. They just not real good, I guess. I don't know.
Somebody said it the other day, and they were kind of right. In the SEC, you've got, I think it's 3 or 4 different tiers. You've got your, pretty good, really good tier, which is Kentucky, Auburn, and then I guess you can throw LSU in there right now. Then you've got your second tier, which is teams that can make the tournament and do okay, which is like Alabama, Arkansas, Florida. And then you've got your other tier, which is, you've got your tier of who knows, which is Georgia, A&M, those teams, and then you've just got your terrible teams, which is Missouri and Vandy. So.
Yeah, that's right. South Carolina, Vanderbilt, I told Brad the other day, after Auburn narrowly defeated Vandy. I said, I guarantee you this, Vandy will not go defeated this year. They will win a game in the SEC. And the next day, of course, they say Naismith is out for the year. And they look like they're not going to win a game in the SEC again.
That's tough for Vandy, though. 2 years in a row that you lose your best player.
Oh, yeah, it's devastating.
It just, I mean, you hate it for them, but as, you know, if you've got to play them ahead, I guess you ain't too upset about it.
That's probably true.
It's a guaranteed win, but
they're struggling.
Yeah, they can't even win at home, and that's a place that they, you know, I mean, that normally you at least have 2 or 3 that just can't make any shots in their place, and you haven't seen that this year. So it's, if they go winless 2 years in a row, do you fire the coach again? I mean, how do you do that? I mean, because you can't just keep recycling and recycling.
I don't think there's any chance they fire Stackhouse this year.
But I mean, they did it a year ago.
I'm aware.
So, I mean, if you're going to do it a year ago, do you have to do it again?
That was not his first year, though, was it? Wasn't he there 2 years?
That may have been a second year.
We're up against the break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of the Auburn Blitz right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Kurt Bowman, General Manager of Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga.
And I'm Coco. Do you owe more on your vehicle than it's worth? Are you stuck with high interest rates? We may be able to help.
If you've made your last 12 consecutive payments on time and would like to get a new vehicle for the same or close to the same payment and save thousands of dollars in interest, you may qualify.
So come by and see us and let us show you the Vaden way.
Vaden Toyota of Sylacauga, located on Highway 280 in Sylacauga.
Have you heard the news? Your favorite chick is now online. That's right, you can now get Chicken Salad Chick even faster by visiting order.chickensaladchick.com. Chicken Salad Chick, born in Alabama and serving the best chicken salad around.
Tires are important, and when getting a great price on tires, you want to get it right. So make the short drive to Wright's Tire in Sylacauga. Wright's Tire can get you any make or model of tire, and they make the drive worth it with volume pricing. Whether North Tallapoosa, South Talladega, or Coosa County, make the right choice, the right selection, the right service, and the right price. All at Wright's Tire on Fort William Street in Sylacauga. Call for a free quote, 256-245-7778, and get the right price on tires.
Harbor Point Ship Store has everything to make your day on the lake more enjoyable. Come on out to the biggest marina on the water. They have pizza, hot dogs, burgers, and more. Get your gas, groceries, snacks, ice, and everything you need for a fun day on the lake. Are you in the market for a new or pre-owned boat? Harbor Point has the best selection around of everyone's favorite Crest pontoons and Four Winds boats. Harbor Point also has a great selection of pre-owned boats. Come on out and take a look at Harbor Point, Marina Point Road in Dadeville. Get to the point.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Since the dawn of time, mankind has needed tools. But not all tools are created equal. AGF Machine Rental Sales and Service has tools for all commercial construction or big residential projects. AGF Machinery offers the most durable and hardworking brands of ASV, Skyjack, and Wacker Neusen. Aerial lifts, scissor lifts, loaders, excavators, and forest equipment on demand for the best possible price. And backed by the Southeast's best team of professionals. Visit any of our strategic locations across Alabama for all your equipment needs. Or online at agfmachinery.com.
Expect it or not, the loss of a loved one is difficult. Put your family first by planning ahead. This is Joseph Dean, new owner of Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers. We are a full-service funeral home with an on-site crematory and cemetery. Whether your need is immediate or you would like to plan in advance, our experienced, compassionate staff can assist you in designing an enduring memorial experience, burial, or cremation. Alabama Funeral Homes and Cremation Centers on Highway 280 in Camp Hill or online, alabamafuneralhomes.com.
Caribbean Jerk boneless wings are back with a blend of mango, habanero, and exotic island spices. And introducing the Caribbean Jerk sandwich meal with banana peppers and Caribbean Jerk sauce. Caribbean Jerk boneless wings and new filet sandwich meal. 2 more reasons you'll get a kick out of Zaxby's.
Sound of something good. At Kia of Auburn, no money down all month long.
Guaranteed I like it, yeah.
Plus, get no payments for 90 days and Kia's 100,000-mile 10-year warranty.
Sound of something good.
At Kia of Auburn on South College and KiaofAuburn.com.
Guaranteed I like it. No, I really love it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Caleb here with you for just a couple more segments in today's show. Ronald says, just wanted to say thank you to our basketball team. They're a lot of fun to watch. These players are keeping Auburn relevant in college basketball. I think they know that they are going to get everyone's best shot. Kentucky will come to Auburn angry, so let's keep it. So let's be ready and keep it moving, War Eagle. Yeah. Game day we mentioned will be in Auburn for that one, February the 1st. Kentucky always expects to win wherever they go, if they're at home or on the road. But Auburn, we'll see what happens. Can Auburn win a road game against Ole Miss coming up tomorrow night on ESPN or maybe ESPNU? I don't know if they've decided that one yet, at 8 o'clock.
They can. I mean, they went to Mississippi State and won. So
do what?
They went to Mississippi State and won earlier this year. So I would say that Auburn was going to be able to go into
it would be
Oxford.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not if they put up 47 points, so we'll see.
Oh, that's true. But, I mean, you got Ole Miss. They're coming off there, which sometimes you see a team like Ole Miss that was playing pretty good earlier in the year, kind of hit a bad stretch there at the start of SEC play. And sometimes when you get a win, it's a big, weight lifted off your shoulders, and all of a sudden you start playing better. So there's that to watch for. But
and sometimes teams are just bad matchups.
Yeah.
It just happens.
I mean, maybe it's Kermit Davis' style. I don't know what it is, but I mean, obviously he's had Bruce Pearl's number, and that can be a mental thing. And if you think players don't know about that and think about that, then you're wrong. So I mean, there's chances, but I'd be shocked if Auburn doesn't go into Oxford and take care of business like they should.
I will not be shocked, but I will be glad if we come out with a win. Switching up, what do you think of the DeAndre Butler signing? And I know we are targeting Broderick Jones, but is there any info on any other players just in case that falls through? That's from Stephen Maxwell. Yeah, I love the commitment of DeAndre Butler. He's got 3 years to play, so I mean, when you bring a guy in from junior college, there's always that consideration. But that's a great thing. He was very productive. I don't know what to make of community college stats. I mean, he had 66 tackles, 11.5 sacks, and 22 tackles for loss. I'm glad that if he's not productive in community college, chances are he's not going to be productive in the big time. But if he's productive in junior college, at least that gives him an opportunity to be productive on the big level. He is, like I said, he is an enormous guy. He could certainly move inside and play tackle. This is a really good-looking defensive line class. Jay Hardy, Daniel Foster Allen, Zykevious Walker out of Georgia, Romello Height, the guy that Auburn flipped from Miami, going to play the buck position. You add in Butler to that mix, and that's a pretty formidable defensive line right there. So hopefully he comes in ready to play and comes in shape with Rodney Garner's going to put him to work. And some guys don't react well the way Rodney Garner coaches. Let's just be honest about it. That's just kind of the way it is. But the ones that do turn out to be guys like Derek Brown and Marlon Davidson. So if he's ready to work, I think it'll work out really well for Auburn. Are there any backup plans if Broderick Jones ends up signing with Georgia? Not on the offensive line, I don't think. I think Broderick Jones is the only one on that. Auburn's in on a couple of other guys. I mean, I don't think they're giving up on the McKinley Jackson. Is that his name? I think he's pretty much – I think a lot of people feel like he's destined to go to Alabama, but I think Auburn's still recruiting him pretty hard we'll see about that. As far as other guys, I mean, they've got other guys on the that they're still talking to. There was I can't remember, maybe Burks was his name, another defensive lineman, kind of a lower down priority guy, but we'll see what happens on next Wednesday, not this one, but the next one. Got Savion Byrd, the number 2 offensive tackle in the country, visited Auburn over the weekend. Auburn's got the number 1 offensive tackle in 2021, the Brockermeyer kid from Texas, and his brother, who is a 4-star center prospect as well. Don't know if they're a package deal or not, but I think they would probably like to be. But, you know, I don't obviously Auburn is trying to step up their offensive line recruiting, and to have, you know, Broderick Jones, who is a 5-star guy, visiting next weekend. Auburn will get his final visit. He could sign with Auburn. He is a very, very high-level offensive tackle. You got the number 2 ranked offensive tackle, the number 1 offensive tackle in 2021 class, visiting in back-to-back weeks. If you can't get them on campus, obviously you're not going to get them there during the regular season. So that's a good thing, and that's a place that Auburn has been it just hasn't been real good the last few years.
On the offensive line, yeah. I mean, obviously that's got to be a focal point if you're Gus Malzahn. I mean, because when you look at when he's been good, it's not only having a quarterback that I think, like what Bo Nix is going to end up being, a guy that can run and throw it, but a good offensive line. I mean, you know, that's been, when you look at all 10, 13, 17, you know, and then this past year you thought that it could be that, but it ended up not turning out that. But having veteran, good offensive lines at that time, and so I think that's got to be a focal point for him, considering that the last couple classes haven't been very good, and some of the guys that you got haven't worked out.
That's for sure, yeah. The Calvin Ashleys of the world that you thought had brought in as a 5-star and never even saw the field, or at least once or twice. That's about it. Here's an interesting little tidbit. We saw Gus Malzahn down there in Mobile making the announcement or talking to reporters and saying that Chad Marshall was turning him loose. He was going to be in control of the offense. You know, he's going to call the plays. He's going to run the offense. Even taking it a step further, Jason Caldwell said, making it even more of a case is something Malzahn told him about Morris. He said he wasn't even going to be in the meeting rooms with the offense and would let Chad Morris handle everything on that side of the ball, much like he's done with Kevin Steele on defense. Gus Malzahn saying, not even going to be involved in the meeting.
So he's gone from being the play caller to not being involved in the meeting.
I mean, this offense is going to look a lot different than anything we've seen at Auburn, or he's lying. Up against the break. We'll be back with more right after these minutes.
Find everything you need for the perfect outdoor living space at Russell Do-It Center, like the Fire Rock Outdoor Conventional Fireplace. Smartly designed masonry systems that are easy to install and are less than half the cost of a scratch-built brick and mortar fireplace. Weber Grills, the best outdoor gas, electric, and charcoal grills, which always come pre-assembled. Yeti Coolers, premium coolers and accessories that are the ultimate in design, performance, and durability. Russell Do-It Center, experience and knowledge from the pros.
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic, from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local Cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. Visit ThompsonCat.com, their compact equipment provider.
Lex Wedgeworth has been the most trusted pest control for generations, and now with EnviroCare, you can expect the same high standards for all your pest control needs. EnviroCare's exclusive Centricon termite colony elimination system provides the industry standard to protect your home or business. EnviroCare's Centricon system protects your home year-round. Call the professionals at EnviroCare throughout East Central Alabama for a free estimate. Nobody cares like EnviroCare, the next generation of full pest control for your home or business.
WOTM, your new home for high school sports in Alabama. WOTM has you covered with live coverage of all 7 championship games of the Super 7. WOTM is available to all TV providers in Alabama. If WOTM is not currently a part of your channel lineup, call your provider and request that they add WOTM. WOTM, your exclusive TV home for the AHSAA Super 7 basketball, baseball, and softball championships. All live only on WOTM.
Hey Realtors, do you know about LMG Ad Agency? We build your brand and help sell your properties or a unique lifestyle so you can focus on your clients. We focus on professional photos, videos, aerial photography and videography, and commercial real estate. We'd love to tell your story. Contact us today at 256-392-4250 or visit our website at lmgadagency.com.
Mortgage Pro is the new standard for mortgage loans. While other banks are taking 45 to 60 days to close a loan, Mortgage Pro is making it happen in less than 15 days. Your mortgage loan goes from start to finish in less than 15 days. Mortgage Pro is able to make this happen by having the most advanced technology and a highly trained staff with over 98 years combined experience. If you're looking to buy a home or refinance your current mortgage, call Mortgage Pro and let our team go to work for you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Caleb here with you for one final segment in today's show. We talked a lot about, of course, the passing of Kobe Bryant. Tragically, in a helicopter crash on Sunday, he and his 13-year-old daughter perishing in that amongst a 9-person crew on that helicopter, I think, including the pilot. 3 children just going to a basketball game, and it ends so quickly like that. Talked about Auburn taking care of Iowa State over the weekend. They'll take on Ole Miss tomorrow night. That one at the old Tad Pad, or the new Tad Pad, I guess. The Rebels finally getting on track, taking down Georgia over the weekend, getting their first SEC win. So I'm sure they'll be fired up for that game. The SEC Big 12 Challenge ended up 5-5. With the SEC and Big 12 splitting. We were talking about Bryce Drew. He actually was at Vandy for 3 years. 19-6, 10-8 his first year. 12-20, 6-12 his second year. 9-23, 0-18 his third year. Looking at that, you got to fire the guy. Yeah. Now Jerry Stackhouse, that was the question that was brought up. If he were to go 0 in conference again this year, would they actually get rid of him? No, they won't. They'll give him some
especially when you
period
can't just expect a guy to walk into an 0-18 team and then
lose your best player.
Yeah, then lose your best player and then all of go 500 in SEC play.
Yeah, probably not going to happen. On this day, in January the 27th, 1894, the first college basketball game ever played. University of Chicago defeated the Chicago YMCA 19-11. I bet that was exhilarating.
Yeah, I would have liked to. I mean, I wish that if I wish there was a time machine that I could go back and see what it looked like. Like what did the first game look like? What did people think going into that game? Yeah, was there?
Was there anybody there to watch it?
Yeah, did anybody know about it? I mean, it'd be interesting. But 19-11. I wonder if they played, but. When they first started, wasn't it by ones? Didn't they play by ones to start with? There was no 2-pointers. So
that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
I'm pretty sure I've read where the first basketball games were 1 point.
Yeah. Did they have free throw shooting?
I don't know.
On this day, 1924, January 27th, it's a pretty special day. First Winter Olympics ever. It was in, I'm going to say, Chamonix,
yeah,
France.
That's
right. They called it the bobsleigh. I'm assuming that's the forerunner of the bobsled.
Yeah.
They had curling, ice hockey, skiing, as well as skating. They only didn't have a lot of events in the first one ever. And technically, it wasn't like this is going to be the Olympics. This was just something that they got together and had some events because the Summer Olympics were that year. And they retroactively went back and said, well, this is the first Winter Olympics that ever happened. So, and then, you know, it was like that for, you had the Summer and Winter Olympics on the same year every year until 1992. And that's when they split them up, I think.
I'm glad they split them up. Yeah.
I did too. I mean, it makes more sense.
Are the Summer Olympics this year?
It's a good question. I do not know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's leap year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that has to do with it, but yeah, I think it might be this year. That sounds about right.
Well, we were just talking about the Olympic trials, so would that be for this summer, or is that for next summer? And then they have a whole year to train.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody out there probably does, and they could be kind enough to tell us because I do not know. 1969, on this day, Chuck Noll is named the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was the youngest coach in NFL history at that time, 37. We think about today, all these young guys, you know, getting these head coaching NFL jobs. Chuck Noll was 37.
Yeah, who's the youngest now? Rams guy?
I think so. Is he still?
Or is it Kingsbury?
I don't. One of the two. I don't know. How old's the guy that the Giants hired? He's just a kid too.
He's younger too. Yeah. Well, Matt LaFleur at the Packers, I think he's 39. So you're starting to see the trend go that way, though, where they think that they get this young offensive guy that's going to come in with all these new ideas, and then it ends up looking the same. So.
Yeah. Well, you hired this guy at 37. He goes on to win 4 Super Bowls. So it was a good choice for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And why was he able to win 4 Super Bowls? Well, because he drafted well. You know who his first pick was? Not the one in 1970, the one in 1969.
Oh, who was
Mean Joe Green.
Oh, really?
First pick he made through the draft. The second pick he made the next year, 1970, was a young Cajun out of Louisiana, Louisiana Lafayette by the name of Terry Bradshaw, or Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, it ended up being a good pick for him, I would say. And
yeah,
it's kind of crazy to see Terry. I mean, 50 years later now, is still having success in NFL football. I mean, he's doing it in different ways as a broadcaster now.
Yeah.
But they got one of the best, I think, crews with all of them together on Fox of any of them. So
I think you're right. First pick taken in the draft. He was the number 1 pick, Terry Bradshaw. And here's one of those odd things. Pittsburgh and Chicago both went 1-13 in '69, so it was a coin flip to see who got the first pick.
Wow.
And Pittsburgh won. What if Terry Bradshaw had gone to the Chicago? He'd gone to the Bears.
Well, then they would have been really, really good if he'd have still been around in 1985. So.
Yeah. 1991. I don't know if he would have been around that long.
Yeah,
but,
I don't know.
This is the infamous Super Bowl 25. The Giants and the Bills. Scott Norwood field goal goes just, I think, to the right, maybe, or to the left.
I think it's to the right.
Wide right. Great Super Bowl, though. One of the better ones.
Yeah, you just hate it for the Bills. I mean, making
yeah.
it so many times and getting beat.
Well, this was the first of those.
Yeah, but then after that, I mean, just making it and losing, and then with the first one being a field goal away.
Yeah, this is the closest they would ever get.
Yeah.
And we're favored heavily in this game. Otis Anderson, I think, MVP of that one. Happy birthday today, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. You like classical music?
Yeah, I mean, I know who Mozart is. Yeah. So.
Cool. I mean, I like 1756, born on this day, prodigy. Bobby Blue Bland, great blues singer, born on this day, 1930, died in 2013. Billy White Shoes Johnson, receiver for the Atlanta Falcons as well. I think he played for the Houston as well. One of the early showmen.
Yeah.
modernized, I think, the dance in the end zone up there. Chris Collinsworth, Matt Stover, one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Bridget Fonda, and Tracy Lawrence. Died on this day, Andre the Giant and Mahalia Jackson on this day. That's going to do it for us. We'll talk again soon. So long, everybody.